To start off this makeup look, I'm going in with the Nivea Men's Post Shea Balm as my primer. I love using this as my primer because it really helps my makeup stay on and last all day long. For foundation, I'm going to use the Pure Cosmetics 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation, and I'm just going to blend that in with my beauty blender. This foundation is really cool because it's actually infused with a lot of good skincare benefits, so I've been really enjoying this foundation lately, and it's super full coverage and it just leaves your skin looking flawless. I really do like this foundation a lot. For concealer, I'm going in with the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Beige, and I'm putting that under my eyes, on the center of my chin, the center of my nose, the center of my forehead, and on my eyelids to prime for eyeshadow. I do want to mention that I do really like this concealer, but I've been starting to notice that it's really drying on my under eyes. So, I would recommend, if you find that it's drying, to maybe mix it in with another concealer and maybe that will be better. I didn't do that in this video, but I'm pretty sure this concealer is the reason my under eyes, I have been feeling like they're so dry lately. Now I'm going to set my face using the Laurent Mercier Translucent Glow Loose Setting Powder. And I'm just applying that all over my face using a Japonesque highlight and contour brush. I like this powder because it gives you a really natural looking glow to the skin, and for someone with dry skin, especially in the winter time and fall and stuff, my skin gets so dry and I'm starting to feel that a little bit, so this gives you that natural looking glow peeping through the skin. For the eyes, I'm going to take the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm taking the shade Love That, and I'm going to work that into my crease as my transition color. So since this color is very pigmented and it can be very dark, you want to start with a little bit of eyeshadow at a time, and I'm using windshield wiper motions to build that up and blend that out into my crease, and I'm also dragging that out on the outer corner of my eye, trying to make a winged out effect. Now I'm taking the shade Red Ochre on a Morphe JH35 brush, and I'm just going to work that in my crease using windshield wiper motions. You want to keep this shade lower than Love That, but you want to make sure that it is being blended into the crease and blending well together with the shade Love That. I'm using windshield wiper motions, and again I'm dragging this shade on the outer corner of my eyelid to give it that winged out effect. Now I'm going back in with my Morphe M537 brush, which is the same brush we used for the shade Love That, and I'm just blending over my crease, making sure everything is nice and blended, because with eyeshadow looks you really want to make sure that everything is blended and soft and ombre. Now I'm taking the shade Red Ochre again, and I'm just building that up into my crease, making sure that the intensity is exactly how I want it and that everything is nice and blended. I'm also taking the shade Love That and Red Ochre, and I'm applying that on my lower lash line to smoke out my lower lash line, and I'm doing this now to make sure that the lower lash line and the outer corner V that I've done connect. Now I'm taking this black shade from the Jaclyn Hill palette, and you can kind of skip this step, but I'm just kind of mapping out where I want the black, and I'm using a little paper underneath my eyes to make sure that I don't get any fallout because I didn't want to ruin my under eyes. But I'm just lightly going in with this black shade and kind of mapping out where I want it on my lid. And then I'm taking the shade Berry Treasure from the Jaclyn Hill Bling Boss palette, and this is like a black with sparkles, so it's like easier to blend, and I didn't want to ruin my under eyes, so I went ahead and went in with that black just because it was very easy to apply to the eyelids and very blendable. Now I am just smoking out my lower lash line a little bit, trying to give it that hollowed out dead eye effect, and I'm just using the shade Sparks from the Jaclyn Hill palette to do this, and I'm also using my e.l.f. concealer brush to make sure it's nice and blended. Now I'm taking the shade Berry Treasure, and I'm kind of smoking out my lower lash line, and I really wanted to connect that black there. Next, I decided to go in with the Bare Minerals Gin Nude Powder Blush in the shade You Had Me at Merlot. And I'm just going to start building this up on my under eyes and kind of just smoking it out. I'm trying to give my under eyes like a dead, hollowed out, veiny, irritated effect for this makeup look. So I'm just going back and forth into that blush and blending this product out. Now I decided to add the veins, and for this I'm using water activated face paint in a red color, but you could use a liquid lipstick or just whatever you have that's red and that you can use to draw veins. And I'm just using a little tiny paintbrush and I'm just kind of sketching out some veins, just trying to draw some veins. I don't know, there's not much to it. Now I'm going to take the shade Sparks and I'm just going to go over the veins that I drew and just kind of just smudge them out with a little bit of eyeshadow because they were a little bit too bright red for me. They were a little too unrealistic, so I was trying to make them a little bit more darker just by smudging this eyeshadow on top of it. And then I'm taking that blush again and I'm just going to just blend and just drag the eyeshadow down and just keep packing it on and keep blending. And I also go back in with the e.l.f. concealer brush and blend out the edges to make sure that it's nice and blended on the outer edges. Just go back and forth until you get the intensity that you like. Now I'm going to take the shade Rockstar and I'm going to take this closer to my eyelid. So I'm mainly focusing this like on the upper part of the veins, and then I'm also going to pat this on and just bring out like my lower lash line. I'm just, again, like I said, trying to get that dead, hollowed out under eye creepy effect. And again, I'm taking my little e.l.f. concealer brush and just blending out the edges to make sure that it's nice and blended and that we have no harsh lines. Even our under eye, creepy veins and bags need to be blended. Now I'm going in with the Tarte Park Avenue Princess Chisel palette and I'm taking the shade Angel on a little Benefit Hula brush and I'm starting to contour slash bronze up my face. So I'm contouring my cheekbones and I'm also going to contour my jawline. Now I'm going in with my Morphe M437 brush. This has no product on it whatsoever, and I'm just going to blend over the areas that I bronzed slash contoured and just make sure everything is nice and blended and that we have no harsh lines. Now I'm going to contour my nose using a Morphe M506 brush. I just want to say really quickly, if you plan on contouring your nose, maybe you should do that before you start the under eyes. It was just a little bit harder to like bake and blend out, but it's fine. I made it work, but I would just suggest doing it before you start doing all the veins and all that under eye shadow and everything. And now I'm just blending out that nose contour using my e.l.f. concealer brush. Now I'm taking my Maybelline Fit Me Loose finishing powder in the shade 10 and I'm using that to bake my face, bake the areas that I contoured. I'm taking that same bronzer shade from that Tarte Park Avenue Princess palette on a Morphe JH02 brush and I'm going to bronze up my forehead a little bit, not too much because I still want to look dead, but I still like to be bronzed and a little bit glam for this look. And then I'm just going to blend out that bronzer using my Morphe M437 brush. Now I'm going to take the Bare Minerals Gin Nude Powder Blush in the shade You Had Me at Merlot again on a Sonia Kasuck number 113 brush, and I'm going to apply this as a blush on my cheeks, and I'm not being scared to work that blush up high onto my cheekbones and almost blend it into that shadow area. That's kind of the effect that I wanted. And now I'm taking my Morphe M437 brush again to blend. I am always using this brush to blend my makeup and go back into my face and make sure everything is blended. I'm always picking this brush up to blend. And again, adding more blush. I really wanted a lot of blush on my cheekbones, very high up, almost connecting into that under eye shadow in that outer corner. I just wanted a lot of blush for this look. Just because we're dead doesn't mean we can't glow, so I'm going to take the Ofra Cosmetics Rodeo Drive highlighter and I'm going to apply that to my face, on the chin, my cupid's bow, down my nose, and I do try to get my cheekbones, but I'm trying to be very light-handed on my cheekbones and make sure that it's nice and blended and that it's not too blinding of a highlight. And then I'm also getting the tip of my nose and the inner corner of my eyes using a Morphe E36 brush. For lips, I'm going in with the Steve Laurant lip liner in the shade Vogue, and I'm just lining my lips. Then I'm going to take the Dose of Colors Desi X Katy liquid lipstick in the shade Savage, and this just completes the look. Like, this liquid lipstick with this eyeshadow look is everything, especially once it dries and you have that lipstick built up and the true color shows. It's so gorgeous. I absolutely love this lip color. Now I'm going in with the Milani Make It Last setting spray, because just because you're dead doesn't mean that you don't want your dead girl makeup lasting, right? This is the final dead girl, vampire, zombie, Halloween makeup look, whatever you want to call it. This makeup look could be worn for all of those things and more. There's a lot of costumes that you could pair this makeup look with, and a lot of things that this makeup look could be, which is why I think this makeup look is also so fun. It's super easy to create and it's super duper cool looking. I've had this makeup look in my head since last year that I've wanted to create, and I'm so happy that I finally created it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this Halloween makeup look, and if you did, please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. Also, if anyone recreates this makeup look for Halloween or anything, please tag me in your pictures or DM me your pictures so I can see it, because I would really love to see your guys' recreations and what you would do with this zombie, vampire, dead girl Halloween makeup look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Happy Halloween!